Welcome back to KR Runs. This is my winter sprint south vlog. Just done another easy run. This is pre-training starting. So next week will be my first week of 20 training for the race in January 2026, and that was tough actually. I want to focus this vlog on sort of returning from a layoff, whether that's unplanned or planned. So unplanned would be illness, injury forcing you to lay off running. Planned would be more like what I've had is a holiday, 2-week holiday. I did take my running shoes and I was going to run if I felt like it, but I didn't. It was so hot over there. It was in some places up to 41 degrees. Wasn't humid, it was quite dry heat, but decided to not run. I did do a nice hike with quite a bit of elevation up in the Albanian Alps, but despite the heat, was pretty easy, although I was tired by the end of it. So yeah, unplanned 2-week break. For me, what tends to happen is as I'm coming back, my training metrics get worse before they get better. So yesterday I like to track a measure called beats per mile, and I'll put a link below to a blog post and also a video that I've done on beats per mile. It's a very easy calculation. You literally take your pace per mile. So let's say you ran a 10-minute mile, and then you take your average heart rate for that mile. So let's say it was 100 just for ease. 10 times 100, your beats per mile would be 1,000 beats per mile. For me, when I'm fit on an easy run, I am getting towards that 1,000 beats per mile, maybe between 1,000 and 1,100. Today, I'll put it up on the screen, but my beats per mile was more like 1,275, whereas yesterday, first run back, I just got home, 2 AM, long flight, long drive. Yesterday, things actually, I was surprised by how well things looked on paper. So beats per mile was about 1,180. Today, 100 beats per mile more, suggesting really lost a lot of fitness. Before I went on holiday, I was in that sort of 1,000 to 1,100 range, regardless of whether I was carrying a backpack to work, commute runs, that type of thing. So today actually was more where I expected to be. It is quite humid, muggy today, but the focus of this vlog is coming back from a layoff, so prepare for feeling a bit shit, to be fair. In terms of a training plan, I am going to get into a lot more detail about what these next 20 weeks are going to look like, but the first 3 weeks I'm just going to run easy. I'm going to use my Aura ring. I've got this Aura ring, you just see that there. That tracks things like readiness, sleep stats, heart rate, resting heart rate stats, heart rate variability stats. So I'm going to use this to get out of this little hole that I've created from the holiday. So I'll put on screen some stats to show how my readiness, heart rate variability stats have really gone the wrong way whilst on holiday. That's fine, but what I'm going to do is track those coming back as I start to get the body back towards training and better diet, nutrition, sleep habits. We should see those slowly come back the other way, and from that we'll start to see the stats on Strava, which I'll put a link down below. I'll put all my runs on Strava, and I'm going to try and comment a little bit on those runs about what the purpose was, how I'm feeling, what I'm thinking. The next 3 weeks is literally just going to be easy runs, commute runs, keeping heart rate low. I mean, heart rate today was 143 really. For an easy run for me, I like to see it in the 130s, even around 130, and I want to see that beats per mile coming back down. The plan is, the hope is, after 3 weeks of just nice easy running, good habits, good behaviour, we'll see that beats per mile get back to where it was pre-holiday. And then in week 4 I've got some speed tests planned, and I'm going to go into a lot more detail about what those speed tests are, and what the purpose is and how I do those. I'm going to try and document those. One of those is a 400 meter speed test, so how fast can I run a 400 meter, and I can extrapolate up using a theory that Frank Horwell first talked about. And then the second one is a 6-minute VO2 max test, which is a French researcher, Veronique Billiat, and again that's looking at what is your speed at VO2 max. So those are 2 tests that I'm going to run in week 4 if everything goes well. So stick around, like, subscribe, and follow my journey as I try and get back into training, and we'll go through the high level 20-week plan as well in the next few weeks as well. I'm going to try and post at least once a week, but more like 2 or 3 times a week. And if you've got any suggestions, any comments, please leave them. I'll get back to everyone who comments. If there's anything you'd like to ask, anything you'd like to see. I've got to say that although I've been running for 12 years, I started running properly in 2012, and I've done pretty well for age over 5k, half marathon. I'm a novice ultra runner, and we're going to get into that a lot more through this series. I am a complete novice, and this spine race represents a massive leap out of my comfort zone, because to be fair, I'm not an expert, I'm not experienced in how you keep yourself safe on mountains in tough winter conditions, and I've got to learn that pretty quickly over the next 20 weeks. So stick around if you liked it. I hope you did. We'll see you again soon.